Social media, is it fun? You do it for money? Or is it killing your childhood? Well, not too much?
Killing your child?
Well, killing your child, I don't know.
Oh, God.
Do we not like that?
It's fine.
All right. Welcome back. Another episode of Midlife Playbook. I'm Matt. And as always, I'm here with my boy, Naeem the Dream.
I'm here.
Special guest, Reece. This is part 2 of the influence of social media on kids.
We got to call him Reece, a.k.a.
Reece.
Impossible Runs.
Impossible Runs. Welcome back, Reece.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time, man. We know you're a busy, busy man. So last episode, we left off with a little teaser about the Flying Pig Marathon. And Reece was involved in this. He ran it for one of his pages. So, Reece, why don't you tell us the story, my man?
Yeah, so it's Cincinnati Marathon, one of the biggest and most popular in the States. So I came up with an idea for my running page. I do a lot of eating and running in different shoes. So I decided I wanted to run it in a suit. So I went to Goodwill, found some cheap suit, and I started running in it, ran the whole marathon in it. And throughout the marathon, I had crumble cookies. I love those.
Was this a full suit, like a full 3-piece suit, like pants, jacket, and tie, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah. The tie came off around like mile 6, but I had that tie on for quite some time. Man, I tried to keep it going. I don't even think I took the top of the jacket off even towards mile 22 when I was really exhausted. That's when it really started to hit me because I was only eating crumble cookies and Reese cups, and I hadn't even had water because I didn't want water until like mile 20 area. I'm weird when I run. I'm like, no, dude, you're not drinking water until mile 20. Then we'll start drinking water. Then once you get to that mark, you're like, oh, I'm getting water. I got like 5 miles left. I'm chilling now. So that's kind of the mindset. Any way you can just trick your mind when you have to run long miles. I like to do stuff like that. So I didn't have water. And towards the end, it definitely started to get to me, the heat. I remember my mom was around like mile 22 and we stopped. She was telling me you only got 4 miles left. But man, that 4 miles sounded like 15 to me, the way I was feeling. Mentally, my head is hot, whole body's hot. It was horrible, but I finished it.
I remember it was what, 80 something degrees that day?
Yeah, and it was humid.
Yeah.
The hills were tough. I don't run on hills. That's not my jam at all. Those hills were no joke. I found out, and my dad found out too, because he barely even finished the race. So those hills were no joke.
Yeah.
So did you record this whole thing for your page?
Yeah, and I had the suit, and I was recording me eating the cookies, and I had people set up at different mile markers for when I knew I'd want some food. So I had cookies and Reese cups, and everybody else there, they're eating the little fruit they give you, drinking water. They got the little electrolyte packs, and my crazy ass is there eating none.
So you're running
most unhealthy stuff ever, drinking nothing.
You're running in a full suit. And you're having to hold your own phone and record yourself while you're running, and then your other hand you're eating cookies.
Yes, at certain points, yeah. It was crazy, man.
How great would it?
I get tired putting my shoes on.
Right. How great would it be to be 21 again?
Yeah. I was ready for it. I was ready to go rocking and rolling for majority of the race until towards the end when I got hot.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I've never ran a marathon in my life. Or the longest distance I've ever ran was 7 miles.
I mean, we record this show in your basement. I get tired going upstairs sometimes.
Right.
Man.
Out of breath at the top.
Trying to bend over to tie my shoes. This kid's running a marathon at 80 degrees with a full suit on.
Right.
Yeah.
Phone in one hand, crumble cookies in the other.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But getting back to the whole, you're recording yourself while you're running. So you're clearly doing this for your social media page. And we were talking about the influence of social media on kids. And, Matt, you've got Gunner who has his page.
Yep. So my son is 13 and a half years old. He has a YouTube page. And I would say maybe about 6 months ago or so, I noticed my 2 daughters and him were watching a guy on Facebook. And this guy on Facebook was playing a game. Or not on Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube.
Right.
He was streaming himself just playing a game, and he's narrating over the game. And these 3 are mesmerized watching this.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, you guys are watching somebody else play a game right now.
Right.
And all 3 of them were kind of like, yeah. So I turned to my son. I said, "Can you do that? Can you play these games?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Can you play these games and put them on YouTube?" He's like, "I think I can." Fast forward 6 months, he's got a bunch of shorts, which I don't really understand what they are, but he has now got a bunch of shorts on his little YouTube page, and a few of them have a couple thousand views.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what that means as far as monetizing it, but what I will say is now it takes up his time doing it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like instead when we were kids, we had paper route,
Right.
we shoveled snow,
Right. Or we
all
were
that
just doing other stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about for the money aspect.
Oh, for the money.
You know,
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things we would do. But now you've got these young kids that are essentially, you have teenage millionaires.
Yeah.
Off
And
the social media.
he's spending hours doing it. Oh, what was that? A little fumble Rooski on the
Oh
opening
my gosh, do the
kickoff?
Eagles have it?
Fumble
Oh, they
Rooski,
do.
Fumble Rooski.
The Eagles have that. The Eagles have that. Oh, get out of there, ponytail. Nobody respects you.
Are you?
What?
We're gonna
Get out of there, pony.
That didn't get said.
I was talking about the dude. Who are you
He
talking
doesn't
about?
speak for all of us, ladies and gentlemen.
It is Philly's
I
ball.
don't know.
It's all jokes here, folks.
It's all jokes.
No hate mail. It's all jokes. Yeah, look at that. Clean fumble.
If you do want to send a hate message, it's
Reece,
midlifeplaybook@gmail.com. Attention, Matt.
But so kind of the point of that, and I had mentioned something about killing your childhood earlier. And what I mean by that is, Naeem, when me and you were 12, 13, 14 years old without internet like they have today,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were outside all day.
Had to be.
And that was the environment we grew up in. So we took kind of advantage or we played in the environment that we knew, the world we knew.
Right. You know what? Can I just push back on that just a touch?
Yeah.
So we like to say that, and I say it a lot too. But man, when that damn Nintendo came out, I mean, I grew up with Atari and what was that, Commodore 64, whatever. But when Nintendo came out,
it. Yes.
Oh man, we would sit in front of the damn TV
You're right.
for the whole damn day, hours.
I think
until our parents kicked us out of the house.
I think Nintendo was the tipping point for that.
Nintendo was definitely the tipping point. And then Sega Genesis came out.
And then there we are.
Right.
But I say all that to say this. So now a kid who's, 11, 12, 13, their world is nothing but technology.
Right.
Our kids go to school. They don't have textbooks anymore.
No.
They have laptops or whatever they're using.
ELA class.
They will never know the pain and joy of having to go to your locker between classes.
Right. And get your books.
And change out your books.
And carry out all those books.
Carry a 50-pound book bag home.
Right.
Yeah.
Because another thing they don't do a lot of is homework.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of it's done online.
Yeah. Well, so Reece, you were in high school a few years ago. I mean, what was your homework load like?
My homework really wasn't bad. I didn't have too many assignments. We'd do most of it. And then at high school, you get study hall too. So you get study hall and then your assignments aren't too much. And then now I just take most of my classes online. So it's nice and easy.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? It's like you were saying, these kids nowadays, this is their world.
This is their world.
They have to do this stuff because that's everything that we live in nowadays is going in the direction of some internet-based application.
Right. Their work field is going to be a lot different than ours.
Yeah, very different. Very different.
Yeah.
AI might take over. That's a
You're
whole
right
different
about that.
episode itself. Yeah.
Right.
Matter of fact, I just typed up something on Chat GPT. I literally had to write a letter. I said, Chat GPT, give me points A, B, C, and D. And within 5 seconds, I had the whole letter typed up.
Yeah, that's crazy what AI can do.
Yeah.
Philly's going to put this game away right here. You watch.
Think so?
They're going to take a shot.
All right. Let's see.
A quick turnover like this. I'm taking a shot.
Saquon Barkley.
Taking a shot.
In motion. Here we go. Saquon.
You know what they're going to give that ball to Saquon?
Oh
my God. What is happening?
Saquon.
Oh,
you called it, Reece.
oh man.
That's what you got to do. I know their game plan.
They're about to punch it in.
Already.
So what's crazy was I was saying, like, these young kids that are making all this money doing all these things.
Right.
Reece, tell everybody where you live, everywhere, and what this kid does. I mean, and listen, anything that you don't want to put on Front Street, you don't, but but just kind of give these people an idea that are in our age bracket,
Right.
what people your age are doing, and you're doing it so differently.
Yeah, so I live in Ohio, but I recently moved down to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So now I live down there too. So I'm really just
He
living life,
said
enjoying
2.
life,
Yeah, I caught that. He
He
said,
you
said
know?
2, not I moved down there.
Yeah,
He said, "No, I live down there." He's a snowbird.
Yeah,
two
snowbird.
places. Yeah,
And he's not living he doesn't live with us when
Right.
he's here.
yeah,
He
And,
has
like, it's
his
warm in Florida. What are you doing up here,
he
Reese?
has a place.
yeah. I know.
A
I'm getting down
place
there
in
soon. I'm ready.
a snowbird at the age of 21. I tell you, I just don't get it. I
You
don't get
know,
it.
I love the life down there. I went down there for spring break. And it's just a different way of life down there. The women are crazy, so yeah, it's just a lot of good stuff.
oh, look at
Touchdown.
that. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Game's over.
Philadelphia's not messing around.
Nope.
No. Everybody was worried about how Jalen Hurts would look because he hadn't played in a couple weeks. Seems like he's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, he's
That's a tough spot for Green Bay where you basically spot a team 7 points to
Oh,
start
yeah.
the game and you're on the road.
Yep.
That's tough.
That
Yep.
is tough, and you're trying to tackle 26.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, not gonna happen. So women, weather, I mean, you're living the life, man. I mean, and I would be remiss to say that even as your stepdad, like you're making a lot of decisions at your age that I wish I would have made at that
Right.
age.
well, now,
Taking full advantage.
yes, to that point, and the only thing I will say to that is, yes, Reese is smart enough to understand the opportunity he had in front of him
Right.
with social media, take advantage of it at a very, very young age.
Mhm.
And that's awesome, man. I give you props for somebody your age to figure it out that early in life, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
I can make money off of this
yeah.
with just a
Right.
little bit of work and a little bit of determination.
Mhm.
Because you were making money in high school.
Yeah, about junior year, I really started making some money. I had some days where I was making crazy money. So at that time, I was playing sports. But
Right.
man, when you really haven't ever touched money before, and you may make 5,000 or something, that 5,000 feels like a million at that point. So you're
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
don't even care about anything else. When that 5,000 hits quick too, like it did, oh, it was crazy.
So I think that's the whole thing with social media now, right?
It is.
We didn't have that opportunity.
No.
At If we were
Yeah.
working at 15 or 16, it was you're working at a restaurant or you're working at a retail store or
Yeah.
or maybe you're working for your uncle's construction company or
Yeah,
whatever the case is, right?
that's it.
So let me ask you this, Reese, did you kind of just stumble into the fact that you can make money on it, or did you always have an understanding that you could, or was it kind of a surprise when maybe your first video had a certain amount of views and they sent you a check? Or did you know going in the opportunity was there?
I mean, I saw Jake Paul with Lamborghinis, but I had never really got views, so I didn't think I could make money. But once I started posting, I started getting some real views. And then eventually I knew a certain amount of followers I could join the creator program. So then once I joined that program, and then we had like sponsorship ads you could do back then where you could make some real quick money on that and just promote an app, people download it, you could get money. So I did that. And once I learned that I could actually make money, because I always knew you could, I just didn't think I really could. I never pulled views. And then once I did that, that's where I got my chance and I just ran with it. And now I can do it all. I know all those
Right.
accounts in all those different niches.
But you gotta so one thing that I noticed that you were doing over the summer, all the years that I've known you, is you would have all of these times where you just sit on the couch and I would hear this video play loop over and over and over. And you finally told me I'm editing my videos. Like a lot of people think they're just gonna pick up their phone and they're gonna become the next YouTube star. But kind
You're
of
right
get
about
the
that.
idea of the kind of work that you actually put into this.
Well, TikTok wise, TikTok, you got to come up with, you really have to watch the videos and people you want to be like. So then you see what they're doing. So you have an understanding of what you want to do. And then you can keep coming up with ideas. Once you come up with ideas, then you got to record it. And then the whole editing takes forever because then you're going to have stuff popping up on the screen. Even the skits I used to do, those took longer than the editing now I do that takes like an hour or two. So you definitely have to do a lot of editing and the hardest thing for a lot of people is just coming up with ideas. Now, I've been in the game for a while where ideas is coming up. That's nothing for me because I just watch all these people for so many years. But that's one of the hardest things. And then just consistency. And YouTube, people think they're going to become the next YouTube star. I'll tell them right now, that probably isn't going to happen unless you're really dedicated. Because even YouTube, to me, YouTube is tough and it takes a lot of editing. Those videos are like 8 minutes if you want to really get paid. So that's really tough.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
We didn't have cell phones at 16, Naeem.
No. My 12-year-old just got a cell phone.
My 10-year-old has one.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Because, we couldn't get one kid a phone.
Right.
Yeah. That would start World War III in the house.
Yeah.
You're right,
so you got to get all of them.
So our 11, I'm sorry, because she has one too. So 11, 12, and actually the 10-year-old does have a phone. It's just not connected to a cell.
Right.
Network.
Can't make calls.
Yeah.
Remember, that reminds me. You remember our cell phones and the restrictions on calling when they first came out?
Do you remember your first cell phone?
I did. Oh, man. I believe it was a Nokia.
Oh, same.
Playing Snake. Hey,
Snake
whatever you do, don't call me till after 9 o'clock.
Right.
So it's free.
Because I only have 500 minutes a month.
Texting. Remember when texting came out?
Oh, my gosh.
You'd send it, but I couldn't read it because now I'm charged a quarter or 10 cents or whatever it was.
My first phone, when texting came out, you had to actually go online to read the text message. So one text message would take like 5 minutes.
Oh, they almost got it right back.
Yeah.
And remember, to send a message, you had to push the number. Like you had to push the A or the number 1 to get A, B, or C. If you
that was that T9 word?
Yeah. Well, it was. No, you had to remember. Now they have like a keyboard you can type in when you text. When we had it, the letters were associated with numbers on the phone. So you had
like a C was 111.
Yeah. You had to push it 3 times to get the C. And then you had to go however many times to get an H or something.
Right. I'm going to bring people back with this one real quick. If you had Sprint, which is who I had, they wouldn't charge you for a call any time of day if it was under 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm watching the clock as I'm calling people.
Call me back after 9.
Wait. Call me back. Here, hang up now and just call me right back. And then we'll talk for 60 more seconds.
Those were also the days of the dial-up internet. Oh, my God.
Man. I mean, it was such a good time back then.
People calling you and you had no idea who it was. Right. You had to answer because there was no caller ID.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Oh, remember back in the day, your house phone, if you had 3-way calling, you were balling.
Oh, yeah. That was a thing.
You got call waiting, so you click over and see who it was. But then if you had 3-way calling, bro, that was for the rich people.
Well, the other baller thing, too, is if you went from a rotary dial phone to an actual push button.
Yeah.
Once you got a push button phone with 3-way calling, might as well have been a millionaire.
And then the next step was cordless phone. Oh, you better not leave the driveway.
Car phone. It was like in a suitcase. Reece is like, what are you old men talking about down there?
Yeah, this is old man talk right here.
This before you were born. Oh, my goodness. Well,
Reece, I want to thank you. I think we're going to get wrapped up here.
Yeah, Reece, how do people get in touch with you? If they want to follow your content, where do we go to see it?
Yeah, so on TikTok, it's Impossible Runs, because I do a lot of eating, running stuff. And then Instagram, it's Reece, Reece, and then running. So Reece running and Impossible Runs.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Reece. Appreciate it. I think you gave a really good insight because I don't know anybody that's a creator other than you. So it's really great to hear that insight of what it takes and kind of what that looks like, right?
Yeah, it was nice being on here and talking with you guys.
We appreciate it, my man. And listen, we want you guys to send us your questions. Give us the topics that you want to hear us discuss. It is Midlife Playbook Show, all one word, Midlife Playbook Show @gmail.com. And with that, we're going to get back to watching this game.
We are going to get back to watching this game. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.